Hey there, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to have you back here, and if this is your first time here on the channel, you're welcome to BLO'S Closet. I am happy to have you here as well. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I made this lovely 3-in-1 hair bonnet that you can style in 3 different ways. If you're interested in learning how to make this, come with me and let's get straight into this video. For this project, I'll be making use of 2 different colors of satin, and I used about 1 yard for each of this satin. So I have a square of 30 inches cut out here, so the length and the breadth is 30 inches. So I'll go ahead and fold this into 2 like this, and after folding it, now that it is on fold, I have about 15 inches. Okay, you know, it was 30 inches and on fold now it's 15 inches. So I'll go ahead and fold it again in this manner like you can see me doing. So right now I have a square that is now 15 inches by 15 inches. Okay, so the reason why I cut out a square of 30 inches initially is because I am using 15 inches for my radius. Okay, let's say you want to make a smaller bonnet with a radius of 12 inches. All you need to do is double that number and you have 24 inches, and you just cut out a square of 24 inches by 24 inches. So right here I am placing my 15-inch mark because that's what I'm using at the tip right here, which is my center, and I'm going to go ahead and start making my mark. So I am going to be moving this tape, but I'm going to make sure that that 15-inch mark stays at the tip while I am moving this tape to form my circle. I'll be my radius to form my circle. Okay, so it's important to note that this tip, which is my center, is on the folded part. Okay, and where I am making this mark is on the open ends. I don't know if this makes sense. Okay, so after making these marks, I am going to just connect these points together, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So after cutting this out, guys, I'm going to go ahead and open it up, and this is what it's looking like. So actually my table is too small to show you how big this circle is, so I'll just move it to the floor. So this is how big it is. So I am going to be placing this on another satin fabric. I place it on black and I cut out the exact same thing, and I'm just going to use my pins to secure this in place so that it doesn't move, and I'll take it to my sewing machine and stitch it all around, and I'm going to be leaving like a 2-inch opening so that I can turn this inside out. And this is what it looks like after I was done stitching. Can you see my 2-inch opening? And I went ahead to make notches around to, you know, to just smoothen things out. It's not compulsory. So after turning everything inside out, this is what it looks like, and this is my opening that I used to turn everything inside out. I'm going to be concealing it with a hemming gum. I'll go ahead and give this thing a nice press, and I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So guys, this is what it looks like after I was done ironing. It's so beautiful, and I went ahead to make some marks all around. This mark that I made all around is where I am going to be making my stitch on when I am making my pleat, and I went in about 1.5 inches from the top. So taking this to my sewing machine, I'll go ahead and start making my pleats. The color of thread in my needle is red because the color on top is red, and the one in my bobbin is black because I have black satin under. So this is me going ahead to make my pleat. I am going to try as much as possible to just make this thing equal. I don't have a precise measurement that I'm following. If you want to go ahead and be all mathematician about this thing, go ahead, but I'm just doing this thing slow and steady and just following that mark. And this is what it looks like behind. Okay, so as you can see, it's looking very clean and fine behind. That's why I said you're going to just take your time and try to make it as even as possible, because any mistake you make here in front, I feel like it's going to show behind. All right, So I'm just going to go ahead and keep doing this and until I get to the end. At this point, I am approaching the end, and this thing been dey try whine me, but I no panic, okay? So I'm just going to cut out my thread, and this is what it looks like. And I think for my first trial, I did a pretty good job, okay? So the round circumference, okay, is about 34 inches. So make sure that the circumference after pleating is big enough to pass through your head. And for the band, I am going to be making use of this piece of velvet fabric. You can use any fabric of your choice, any stretchy fabric of your choice, okay? So for the length of my band, I want 5 inches. So right here is 10 inches. When I fold it, to be 5 inches, and right here I have about 19 inches. So make sure that it is stretchy enough to go around your head. So you can see that this is my 19 inches. When I stretch it, it's up to 24 inches, which is my head circumference. So I folded this into 2 and I made a stitch, and I am going to be flipping this now to the right side in such a way that all the raw edges are concealed in. And now I have my band of about 5 inches by about, I think, 18 inches now, okay? So what I did this off camera, it was not recording. What I did is I used my pins to just secure the starting point and the middle point, and I'm also going to mark out my starting point and middle point on this my bonnet. I turned it over to the black side because I want the band to be on the black side. Okay, so I'm just making a mark, and I am going to be aligning this my band to fit these marks that I made, okay? So you can see the way I am fitting it in. I squeeze my band into the bonnet, and the open edge is facing the pleatings and the folded part is just facing downwards. That is the main bonnet. I hope this makes sense. Any questions, please drop it in the comment section. So I'm going to go ahead and match these points together that I just made. I'm going to pin them together, and the reason for making all these points is to just make sure that this thing is distributed evenly, okay? And after pinning this, I'm going to go ahead and pin it a couple more times. And what I'm doing is I'm stretching this thing, I'm pinning, stretching it and pinning, so that it will be easier for me when I am stitching it. And you're going to be pinning this in such a way that it is at least half an inch above that initial stitch line that you made. So after stretching and pinning, this is what it looks like. I'll take it to my sewing machine and stitch exactly on this mark that I have right here, okay? So this is me on my sewing machine trying to stitch this down. So as I am stitching, I'm taking out my pins. You may have to stretch it out a little bit, and this is why I made sure to stretch and pin at, you know, different intervals to make my life easier. Except you are an odogu, or some odogus, they don't pin, you know, they just go ahead and do this thing like that and it comes out fine. But I'm not an odogu like that, okay? So this is the last step. After stitching this all around, the hair bonnet is basically ready, and you can do this in different sizes. You can explore different prints, okay? And this is what it looks like, you guys. Can you see that? It's so beautiful. You can go ahead to iron your pleats to give it more definition, but this is what it looks like. And you can style it in 3 different ways. You can wear it like this. You can decide to just put this band inside and just rock it like this. Can you see? Or you can decide to flip it inside out and just rock the black satin side with the hairband. So these are the 3 ways that you can style this. So we have come to the end of this tutorial. Go ahead and give this video a like so that more people can get to see it. Subscribe to this channel if you're not yet subscribed. Drop your questions, thoughts and suggestions in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.